Gator, would you fire Jim Harbaugh?
No, I wouldn't fire Jim Harbaugh. I'm sorry, what's his record right now in 4 years?
38-13, I believe.
And he's got how many 10-win seasons?
This is his third.
You want to get rid of the guy?
Look,
people are hilarious.
Well, I mean, look, it's the unforgivable sin. I wouldn't fire him either, but 0-4 against Ohio State is a very, very difficult thing to stomach. And the reaction is magnified and intensified because this continues an era of losing to Ohio State that is even more difficult to stomach. Yeah, and so some of the ire certainly goes back to the fact that it's all been done. It feels like it's in triplicate because of what happened before he got here, their inability to beat the Buckeyes.
Well, look, I was surprised as anybody else at the score of this game. I certainly didn't think that they were going to lose by what they lost. I didn't think they were going to lose the game. I thought they were going to go into Ohio State and handle their business. It didn't happen that way. Predictably, people coming out of the woodwork saying that it's Harbaugh's fault, he should go and he should be fired. And look, I made him Chumper of the Week too. I don't think he got his team prepared. That's not an indictment on the program that he's trying to build there. It's funny because people say it's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. So the only thing that's acceptable then is to be a perfect team and to be Alabama, because that's what Ohio State can do occasionally. They can try to be that, and now you want to be that. In order to be Alabama, you've got to beat Ohio State. Urban Meyer's done it, and Jim Harbaugh has yet to do it. It's not easy to do. People think all you got to do is snap your fingers, bring in a guy, and you got it, right? Mm-hmm. It took Saban a while. Saban had some success at Michigan State, had one real good season of success, and he bolted for LSU. And then he wins a national championship there. He bolts and goes to the pros, doesn't do well. They didn't get Drew Brees. Things go downhill, whatever. And comes to Alabama. And by the way, sucked his first year at Alabama. He built it up. Nick Saban's one hell of a coach. Best coach in football. Don't discount, as much as the vitriol we have towards Urban Meyer, cannot discount that he's a great football coach, okay? Because he is a great football coach. What he's built at Ohio State, he did what Tressel did, but he's elevated it to a different level with different athletes. You know, Jim Tressel teams would bore you to death, but they'd win every time. They were just very, very methodical. You know, it's a Michigan State approach, really, because Michigan State is almost a mirror image of what Jim Tressel teams were at Ohio State. Urban Meyer brings the SEC flair with it because he coached at Florida, won a couple national championships there. It's not easy to do. I don't like Michigan football. I don't like Jim Harbaugh, but I respect Jim Harbaugh as a coach. I think he's a pretty good coach. I think what's happened is they've gotten caught up in what all the fandom is going on right now. Everybody insisting that you win the national championship now. You win the Big Ten right now. You had to do it in year one, and he did really well year one. Didn't win it. And still is chasing it. And I think there is a lack of continuity. You and I were talking a little bit before the show. You know, they start off with Jed Fish with the offense, right? Jed leaves to go to the pros. You go to the pros. You got that opportunity. Then they bring in, Pep Hamilton and Tim Drevno, and Jim Harbaugh's in the mix too. It feels like there's too many cooks there trying to make this offense go, and I don't know if it's being pulled in different directions or not, or if one guy wants to do things one way and the head coach has the final say, it's going to be his way. I don't know what's going on with that dynamic, but I don't know. It doesn't feel like there's enough continuity going on with Michigan and what they want to do offensively, and yet 62 points is the reason you lost the game.
Their points per game went up after Saturday, Michigan's, and I could find stuff with the offense that
absolutely.
But my takeaway from that game is far more defensive centric. And Don Brown's had a great season, great coach. Bad day.
Well, yeah, a really bad day, and I think it's the real hard pill to swallow is that the other team is better and that the other coach is better. There aren't many coaches that are better than Urban Meyer. I hate to say that. I don't know, outside of Nick Saban, if anybody is better than Urban Meyer. Maybe Dabo Swinney, I don't know. People like what Lincoln Riley's doing in Oklahoma, but good God, they give up points like it's their job. They just won a game 59-56. So I think the expectation is so damn high, it clouds what's actually there in front of you, which is a pretty good a team that he's building up. You worry about the quarterback. One caller just complained about Shea Patterson. I'm like, what? It's the best quarterback Michigan's had since Harbaugh got there. And look what they have in the pipeline. People love Joe Milton and the arm that he's got. Is he ready to play now? No, but he will be. People love McCaffrey and think that he's going to be the next thing. And, yeah, there's reason to, because he's an incredible athletic freak there. I like it. They've got lots of these guys. Michigan is rebuilding their program. They're going to be a solid program and more than a solid program for years. Can they compete with Ohio State? Well, not right now. Clearly, they couldn't, and I'm not. But things may change real soon because I don't think Urban Meyer's going to stick around much longer.
Long view, I think it's healthy. I agree with you, and that's part of the reason why. You also got to be a little bit cautious about careful what you wish for. Nebraska fired Frank Solich when he was winning 10 games a year, and then they spun their wheels for the better part of 2 decades. You got, Earl Bruce himself was let go at Ohio State. Then they brought in a guy who was specifically brought in because he beat Michigan. And guess what he didn't do once he got to Ohio State?
Cooper couldn't beat Michigan.
Beat Michigan.
Beat everybody else.
Yes. And I get the frustration. Like, the frustration is understandable. And until Harbaugh wins a national championship, there's going to be people like Martin who want him gone.
I wonder if we did
talk.
I
wouldn't fire him either.
If we did talk radio in the late 70s and early 80s, would we have gotten the same calls about Bo because he wouldn't win the Rose Bowl?
I remember reading Twitter when Bo was around, and people on Twitter lit him up.
Twitter.
248-539-9797. Marty's in Ann Arbor. He's next. Hi, Marty.
Hey, guys.
What's up, Marty?
Good morning. Long-time listener. Thoroughly enjoy your show.
There you go.
And the podcast is pretty cool. Really awesome. Love swearing at the radio. I would have to say the Chumps are the U of M coaching staff. I live here in Ann Arbor, and both my wife and I work for the university and are a little bit more prone to hearing what is going on with the coaching staff and the students. And these guys lost their focus after their last win. These guys were taunting their defensive number and statistics. And Bo, Lloyd, Brady Hoke, even Rich Rod wouldn't have let that shit happen. Excuse me.
You can't say that.
Well, he's a big fan of the podcast.
I guess he went out and did what he said he was going to do. I did wonder a little bit if they got, like, in trying to pinpoint, okay, and these are just guesses. Honestly, I don't know. I don't have evidence of this. But you ask yourself what happened. Did they get a little wrapped up in their own success? Did they get a little bit to think that they were better than they thought, or get away from how they got to where they were? I don't know, but I asked that question.
Do you think Ohio State was sandbagging at all this year? I mean, they almost did. Well, because I think there's a narrative out there that some people think that they were. And we even had a caller or texter say so much earlier on. I mean, they're a drop pass away from still playing in the Big Ten Championship on Saturday.
Who's a drop pass away?
Michigan, aren't they? Because Ohio State would have had 2 losses in the Big Ten. They had the one kid held onto the ball in the 2-point conversion for Maryland.
Oh, the incomplete pass. I'm sorry, I didn't think that was a drop. I thought I was missing something. Yeah, I mean, he missed a wide open receiver for a 2-point conversion, and there'd be people that he backed into it. Well, whatever they won.
Right. Well, they wouldn't be playing for. Right, they would have won a Big Ten championship, and they would be playing. They would be playing for a Big Ten championship, which. Seems like something you'd take now.
Harbaugh's taken 3 teams. He's been there 4 years. 3 times he's played Ohio State for a chance to win the East. Okay, 3 of the 4 years.
That's all you asked for.
And I remember going in the year, I said, okay, given the schedule, the goal is to get to the game in Columbus with a chance to win the East. And they did that. And once again, it's really difficult. This feels like you put in your college application to Yale, Harvard, Princeton, Brown, and you only got into Yale, Harvard, and Princeton. and you wanted to get into all 4. And I get it, man.
I think the next 5 weeks are going to be really interesting to see who decides what. What are the players in their team going to do? A, are they going to even play in the bowl game? 2, are they going to play in the bowl game but declare that they're going for the draft in the spring? And 3, are they going to say that, yeah, we're playing the bowl game and we're coming back? Because there's a number of players, key players, that could come back to this team. And next year, they've got the favorable schedule with those games at home.
Yep. 248-539-9797.